Hello, ladies and folks. Welcome back to another episode of Protan Paints with me, your host, Aaron Brock. The first episode came back with some great feedback. You guys seem to enjoy it. Those of you that watched it, we still have a small audience, but a small but strong and proud audience that I'm very happy to have each and every one of you. So here's episode 2. This is a painting I did for my mom for Christmas. I didn't know what to do for anyone for Christmas this year. I knew painting was just about the only thing I could afford to do, and my sister had recommended, I guess you can see it in the picture. She recommended snowmen. Something with a snowman is what my mom would love. So I decided to throw this together for my mom. This is one of the 3 paintings that don't exist on my wall anymore. The 3 that are out in the wild. So let's talk about this painting. The leaves here, normally my plan was to use a variety of greens to paint the bushes to get some texture, but it ended up just the layering of the paint that happened naturally ended up doing exactly what I wanted to do. So that was a happy accident, as some other painter may say. This video, I have watched it about 4 or 5 times myself now. This will be the 3rd time watching it with the music, and it is putting me to sleep. So let me know if that is a good thing. I feel like this music suits the painting I'm doing, a nice relaxing nature scene. But if it is too much relaxing and you're closing your eyes and falling asleep, we might change that up. This painting really does diverge from what I'm normally doing. Usually it's a cartoonish and comical paintings with a lot of heavy black outlines and bright colors, and this was more subtle. The initial idea I had for this was to try and paint the 4 seasons, not the hotel, the 4 seasons of our year. And I wanted to have the snowman prominent in each one of them, showing how he changes. And I kind of got that effect, as you'll see as the painting goes on. The left side, you can guess, is summer. The middle, where the snowman is in winter, and progressing into fall and spring as we get deeper into the painting. It didn't quite turn out as I had in my mind, as none of my paintings do, but the longer I look at it afterwards, the more I appreciate them. Watching this video, I painted it December 15th, I believe. So doing this commentary on January 11th, I'm a bit separated from it. And titling the colors, I think most people would easily just look at what color is in the paint palette and then title it from there. However, being a Protan or colorblind person, I essentially had to look at what I was painting and then remember what color I painted it as. I couldn't just look at what I was painting. Just a little insight into how I make these videos. I essentially only used 2 brushes in this entire painting. This shading brush, which you see me using now, and also the fine-tipped brush you saw me doing all the outlines with. It's not my preferred outline brush. These were some new ones I was testing out, and I still always fall back to my old reliable from the first set of paint brushes I brought. However, my friend Sarah, who recently moved to Vancouver, has given me a large sum of art supplies that I can practice with and test out, and I've been working on my drawing as well, so these paintings should just keep getting better as we get further into the Protan Paints adventure. And here I wanted to try something new and paint a bit of a sun blocked by some clouds. I didn't really know what I wanted to do, so I sketched it out in pencil, just kind of free-handed it and then painted it, and it turned out kind of exactly what I wanted. A very nice when a plan comes to fruition. And you'll see me improvise a little bit here. I had a little too much water on the brush and wanted to clean it up, so I grabbed a piece of cardboard I had nearby and tried to dab it up. It didn't really do anything. But if you are trying to recreate this painting, it is a pivotal step to dab your canvas with cardboard. Something I've noticed each time I've watched this video is that I want to learn how to add more depth to my skies. Here I just painted a pale blue because, as you all know, the sky is blue, but looking at it, it didn't really have the effect that I feel like I could have added if I mixed in some other colors. So I'm gonna have to research sky colors other than just blue. While I think it has a good effect for this painting, and you'll see I'll add some extra details that kind of flesh it out. I think I'd like to get more into using a variety of colors in the same space rather than always just relying on this color and maybe add a black outline to it, which is you'll see later in this video is my detailing I add when I'm not sure what else to do to the painting, sometimes for good and sometimes for a degraded benefit, whatever the opposite of a benefit, a detriment, as the kids say. Variety of blues come into play here. I think I used all three of the blues I own, which was fun. This painting definitely had a lot more color in it than the past one, and I think the next painting coming up you'll see next week as well is a heavy color one. Something I noticed while watching these videos is the perspective I get when painting this, kind of, sitting close to it and at an angle, as opposed to this camera view that's straight down, is I actually prefer the details I can see in the camera view than I do from my straight down view. Not my straight down view, from my angled view. So that's something I need to take into account in future videos, is checking the footage and seeing what it looks like from a different perspective, rather than just relying on my own. I think I made some changes to this one later in the process that I would not have made if I'd paid more attention to what it actually looked like from a different stance. For example, I never noticed how it almost looks like the trees are in the foreground here, the snowman is a little further in, and then behind him is a scenery. It kind of looks like a layered painting, and I think if I had noticed that while painting, I could have added some extra details and kind of steered into that as well, adding more depth to it. I'm a big fan of his hat here. I like his little red toque. Very strong nose too. I'm happy with how that nose came out. I thought about adding little black lines of detail, but I was like, you know what? That is a great carrot. That is an excellent carrot. Adding in a snowman in the background, who I think I could have spent more time on him. It was a very rushed job. I could have maybe planned it a little bit better. I knew I wanted a snowman back there, but in here I'm not too sure how to add detail to the grass, so I just add some cartoon, weeds and grass blades to add some features to the plain green grass. Here is where I learned how to paint birds. I did 3 the same way I normally do it in elementary school, and then I decided, you know what, I'm gonna try this shorter method, and they came out way better that way. You'll see I even correct this last bird because I was like, a shorter body seems better than the long, almost looking like the McDonald's golden arches flying through the sky. And you'll see these birds pop up in the next paintings. I painted it not immediately after, but it was the next painting after this one. And I like to reuse ideas. I want to add some detail to the water, adding a navy blue to add some waves and some ripples to give it some sloshy running water effect. And adding in more clouds. Clouds are really fun because they're almost hard to screw up. If you just paint, a horizontal line, not focusing on too much on making it straight, they come out pretty great, looking like clouds. And here I wanted to add some ridges to look like some depth to the snow, that it wasn't just a smooth surface. And I soon abandoned this idea as I then add some big snowballs that I just do not like the look of. I think I went a little too far, a little too much detail. Seeing just the slow curvy lines, I think, were a better choice. Some arms. I'm happy with how these arms turned out too. These stick arms. Not so much on the little snowman. Again, I wish I spent some more time on him. His hands were sloppy and his overall. I don't think he's that far away and he seems pretty tiny. So the snow was very hard for me to see it from my perspective. Seeing it up here, I actually really like how it turned out. It's very subtle and soft looking. And here I am covering up my what I called a mistake. You'll still see hints of it, but yeah, I wasn't too happy with how those turned out, and I tried my best to hide it from the world. See, I really like how this snow turned out in the tree. I think it looks really good, like snow sitting in the tree, which is what I intended. But unfortunately, I could not see that in the past. End up going a little too far with it, in my perspective, in my eyes. I think I'm always a little too hard on myself, and while the painting turned out well, I feel like there's always things I could have done to improve it. Not adding black lines over it, I feel like it made the snow seem too blocky, even though I guess the idea was that it's just the sun, so it gives it some detail, some fine lines, just like the main mound the snowman is on has the black lines around it, but I don't think it was necessary in the tree. Looking back, I would not have done that, and I guess I could have painted over it, but it wasn't until here I am showing the camera and finally looking at the other perspective. The camera, so this footage you're watching now is flipped. It's normally in the footage I see, it's upside down on my computer. That's why I had to spin it around. More black lines is not the answer, Aaron. But we learned from these mistakes. It didn't ruin the painting. I think it still comes out nice. I like those, the little snow we added on the tips there. I really like how that turned out. And then adding this snow pile. Very unsure where to go next. Probably more black. Yeah, more black. And I think that is it. Time to sign it. And wrap it for my mom. So that is Protan Paints episode 2. A bit of a slower, different vibe in this one. But the next two are going to be more upbeat. They're more fun paintings. This was the first one I filmed, and we've always got room to grow here. So thank you for watching once again. If you're looking forward to more painting videos, be sure to subscribe. New videos coming out every Wednesday. Hopefully I can continue to think of some creative paintings that will entertain you guys, and the process is just as entertaining, as well as improve my commentary that I do not plan out whatsoever. So again, thank you for watching. I appreciate every single one of you, and we'll talk to you next week.